Happy 316 Day. Of course, that means March 16th. And this is the first time I think they had a 316 Day on Monday Night Raw that they've really celebrated it. Unfortunately, it happened under the worst circumstances where they were in a fucking performance center with no crowd, and you have Stone Cold Steve Austin and no crowd. I mean, what are you going to do? You still get the biggest pops ever, but... okay, before we get to the show, we have to talk about the big news. The worst news of the year. Fucking dumb as shit. They're doing WrestleMania in the goddamn Performance Center. Yes, we all know they can't do it in Tampa and Raymond James Stadium. That's canceled. It's in the fucking Performance Center, WrestleMania. This has to be the smallest... Well, it is the smallest crowd ever for WrestleMania. Of course, it has to be. Like, this is the worst. This is so terrible to do WrestleMania in a fucking Performance Center. No, just delay it. Just, it'll happen whenever this thing clears. It's eventually gonna. Do it in the summer or do it in the fall. That's what you do. And you can't get a stadium, just do it in a fucking arena. You can get... the Staples Center or MSG, some big stadium like that, or a Tampa arena. You don't even need to do the stadium. Do it there. Don't fucking do WrestleMania in a goddamn Performance Center. You can't do it in an empty crowd. Just delay it. Delay WrestleMania. Do WrestleMania. When it clears. Maybe if it's okay in the summer, you can do it in Tampa because there's no football. Once it's football season, you can't do it in the fall in Tampa, but you can still do it. Just I'm so mad they're doing it in the goddamn Performance Center. So okay. So we start the show off. Edge comes out, and he cuts a very good promo on Randy Orton. I thought he did really well here. I liked how it's basically in an empty arena. He's able to really get everything get off really well. He mentions Mick Foley and how him and Orton both had feud with him. I thought he did really well in this promo. I don't remember too much about it, but I thought he really did well. He cut a really good promo on Randy. I thought it was really effective with no crowd. I thought it worked better. So I thought this was actually really well done. They show Becky Lynch arriving at the arena in a trailer truck. This is just way too gimmicky. It's like this is begging for people to turn on her. Okay, after they're done with Becky, she arrives. They air the whole Royal Rumble, and this is going to be a disaster because this thing's going to go on for 2 months. So I don't know. What are they going to do? They're just going to keep running out of stuff to air. I guess they can just show WrestleMania after it's over. What are they going to do? Anyway, they show the whole Royal Rumble. We're finally done at 9:53. This is when the real show starts. So they show the whole men's Royal Rumble match. We're back. They announced WrestleMania is going to take place in the Performance Center, and it's on pay-per-view. It's going to air on the WWE Network. It's a fucking disaster. Jerry Lawler's in the ring for the AJ Styles Undertaker contract. Sonny Undertaker comes out. When he comes out in his wrestling gear, and he looks annoyed, he throws the table over after the break. They show Undertaker was really mad because there's no actual contract to be signed. Styles was the kids, and they show him backstage, and he actually has the contract. And this is another really good promo on the show. I thought AJ did really well. He says, you don't see Michael Jordan inserting himself into the NBA Finals. You don't see Peyton Manning and Brett Favre inserting themselves into the Super Bowl. But you do see The Undertaker inserting himself during WrestleMania season. He blames Undertaker's wife for costing him 2 matches. I think he meant the matches with Lesnar or Reigns that he lost at WrestleMania. The only 2 ones he lost. Styles eventually signs the contract. And he sends Giles Anderson to go send it to Undertaker, and they decline, but he finally gets them to do it. They go there, they give him the contract, and of course, the lights go out. Undertaker kills them both, and destroys them. He signs a contract. I think he shoves the contract into Anderson's mouth. He's really mad at AJ, so they're building this up. They show a clip of Austin driving a Zimbabwe to the ring to attack Vince McMahon back in September of '98. There's another contract signing on SmackDown between Roman Reigns and Goldberg, and it have an appearance by Gronkowski. Rey Mysterio against Andrade. Andrade comes out as Zelina Vega. Rey is his opponent. Asuka's on commentary. It was such a horrible promo. She was basically constipated. It was just a mess. She's just sounding constipated. I thought it was just the worst thing. And Rey wins. We go to a Becky Lynch promo. She did well here. She says, I thought she did well. I think Becky does well in these environments. I think the problem with Becky Lynch is they're just making her too hokey and too gimmicky with some of the stuff they ever do. But it was a fine promo, and she ripped into Baszler well, and they showed Baszler watching on the screen backstage, angry. They air a clip of Austin visiting Vince McMahon at the hospital in October '98. They air a clip of Charlotte Flair attacking Ripley last week. Charlie Caruso interviews Kevin Owens. He does okay here, sets everything up. They show highlights from Austin and Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 14. Brock Lesnar, Drew McIntyre, are going to be on the show next week. And then finally we get to the main event, which is 316-day to Stone Cold Steve Austin promo. And here it comes. So Austin, he comes out drinking beer already. And what happens is he has these cue cards, and he's basically doing this whole 316 gimmick day. So, it is 316 day, and he has to do something because there's no fans here. He does the hell yeah, and of course no one's there. So when he does the hell yeah second time, Brian Saxon, he says hell yeah. Then Austin does the whole cue card. He goes through a whole bunch of shitty ones. It went on for like an hour. Way too long. Goes through all of them. You're just waiting for him to just stun Byron Saxton and drink a beer. It's kind of what you want to see. And this is Stone Cold. I wish Austin was in this environment. Like, he shouldn't be used in this kind of environment. Just save him for a big crowd. I don't know when this thing's... Oh, my God. Anyway, he goes on forever. And eventually Austin invites Byron Saxton to the ring. Wonder what's going to happen here. They drink beer for a while. And, of course... Austin stuns Byron Saxton, destroys him. He drinks beer. Looks like the show's going to end. Becky Lynch comes out. The man comes out. Becky has a case of beer, a cooler of beer. She gives it to Austin, and Becky Lynch and Stone Cold Steve Austin drink beer. The man and the Texas Rattlesnake drink beer. Trying to get Becky over, make her one of the big stars. It does make me think, are they going to have Becky win at Mania? Because if she's going to be their top star... And there's no point of having her lose, but she celebrates with Austin. She gets the rub from him. They had her on the first SmackDown get the rub from The Rock. Now on this Raw on 316, they have her get it from Austin. So she's still their top star, their top female star by far. So that was how it ended. Look, I thought it was fine. I wish Austin would have been in a better environment to have him in, but they have to do what they have to do in this situation. It's a mess, and I'm so angry to do WrestleMania Performance Center. I just think that's such a waste. I know that it's the situation that they're in, but delay the show. I'm all for delaying the show. It could be okay in June. If it's not, just don't do it. Don't do it. Do it in the fall. Call it WrestleMania. It'll be a big event then. It'll be better an alternative doing it. You can't do it in a performance center. You can't have WrestleMania in a goddamn performance center. You just can't. I'm mad. You cannot have WrestleMania in a goddamn performance center. It's a joke.